Yo, yo, yo! Whiskey River Auctions. We got auction number 2 happening. It ends this Friday. Live bidding starts at 7 p.m. You guys can go ahead and bid up to that point, but I will be live auctioning this, just like the last auction, at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on Friday, October 7th. So this auction's a little bit different than the first one. There's a lot of project stuff in here. We've also got a lot more hatchets. That was a request by someone, so I was like, well, we can throw some hatchets in this one. The last auction was a super big success. I'm super happy to share that news, and anybody who bid or registered to bid, thank you for the support. So I wanted to go through this as a kind of a preview to the auction. I know I'm a little bit further away from the camera here, but you guys can see detailed photographs of these on the auction site, and I'll put a link below. Also, if you're watching this on Instagram, there's a link in our bio, Whiskey River Auctions. Click that, and there'll be a place where you guys can follow the steps and register to bid. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out, and we'll help you through the process. It's pretty simple. Once you're registered to bid on this auction, or if you're registered to bid on the last auction, you will automatically be registered to bid on the following auctions. You won't have to like put in your card information and all of that again. So here we go. This is what I got. I'm gonna work from my left and to the right, and we're gonna go over what we got. So this is a fun piece that our friend George hung on a 19-inch handle. It's got Axe Junkies engraved on the handle, and it is a Gamble's Artisan. Comes with this full leather sheath, and it is a nice combination. Truck axe, camper axe, you know, toss it in your toolbox. So there's that. Here's a half hatchet. This was hung by our friend Chris. You can see his little insignia on there. And 14-inch handle, looks like. Hung tight, razor sharp. Great little camp hatchet. We're gonna be heavy on the camp hatchets. This is a plum, Boy Scout. It's very faint on the backside. Again, hung by Chris on this hickory handle. Super sharp, like he does. We bought a decent amount of his collection last year. Next one. This is a 6-pound council tool splitting maul, walnut wedge, hung proud, wrapped with cordage around as a collar, and it is octagonalized. And I think this measures out at 21 inches. This is I think what would have been our 24-inch handle, but since the maul is set down on the shoulder, come up to 21. So this would be great for somebody next to your wood pile to bust up the strings where you don't have to be choking up on your big long maul. This is a great tool for that. It's called a troll hammer on the internet as far as the axe groups. I've heard it called that a few times. This is a plum 1 3/4 camp hatchet. Again, hickory handle. This one's got a pretty loose hang. There's gaps in the top and bottom, but it is super sharp. Folding draw knife. This is a fun one. So these have wing nuts on the back side like this that you can loosen and then fold your handle out like that. So this one does have, and you can see it in the photographs, it does have a split in one of the handles. It's still tight and could be glued and clamped if you wanted to put the time in. However, you could probably just run it like this. So it is not user sharp right now and would need a new edge put on. However, it is in very good condition to be sharpened. We don't have many of these walk in the door, but here's a broad axe, hewing axe, single bevel. This is a J. Davis & Co. And yeah, so it's got a stamp on it. The edge is pretty beat up, but again, put an edge on it. This lot of axes is very project heavy. I wanted to kind of offer something for people who have projects that they want to, you know, pick up and rehandle and such. So here's a American Fork and Hoe, I believe, with the bevels, your iconic bevels. This is about a boy's axe. Yeah, and it's had a grinder taken to the bit, but someone could clean it up. The toe's worn, but again, a great project axe. Craftsman Hatchet. I've heard it called a heavy hatchet. It's got this very interesting pattern to it. You can kind of see that there. And that pattern allows it to have a very large bit, and it has lugs This is in pretty good shape. It's got a little surface rust. It's on a, what looks like a vintage handle. Doesn't look original, but super thin. Fun little hatchet. This cruiser I posted on Axe Junkies in a video, and it cut the video right as I went to start splitting, but this is on a super thin handle. I mean, it's thinner than my thumb, pretty much in both directions, and yeah, so I don't know, just right around a 2-pound head, I'd say. I didn't take the head off, obviously. 28-inch handle, a great representation of a cruiser. No name, there's no labels on it. It's about the same size as a Marvel's, I believe it's a Camp 15. North Carolina pattern. It's been discussed that it could be a Kentucky pattern, but I don't discuss patterns because they're so similar, and some people call it a North Carolina Kentucky pattern. So, but this is Council Tool made. They're out of North Carolina. We can assume that it is a North Carolina pattern in that case. It is quite sharp. It has had the bit polished up on it, but pulls in good shape. Great restoration piece. I want someone to fix this up and either split with it or chop some trees down with it. Great historically correct pattern that we don't see much here in Wisconsin, and honestly, people all across the country don't really see the North Carolina pattern much. They didn't make many. Here we've got a Underhill Edge and Tool 3-pound hewing hatchet. Again, this is a double bevel actually. This one's got some wood putty in the eye, but tight, swings nice. Raised bit, Kelly. I believe it's a Kelly. So this one has some eye work that's needed. It's got, the eye is pretty damaged. You can see photographs of that. It's wallowed out, but the bottom's tight and not wallowed out, so you probably could get this to work on a handle. And we don't see many of these. So with this raised bit, check it out. In the photos, a pitted jersey. This thing is pitted. It looks like it sat in the ground for 100 years. It's still got bit left. It'd be a great conversation piece to have on your desk, just like it is, or put a handle on it and hang it on the wall as an axe that was found in the ground. This is a Sub-Zero Vaughn, and it says hollow ground on the side here. The bits need work, and the handle needs to be rehung. It's got a pretty bad ninja shelf, but the handle's in really good shape, and I think it's savable because it's sitting pretty high up on the handle here. You probably could make this handle work. So nice little double bit, right around a 3-pound. This is a Keem cutter, embossed, Carpenter's hatchet, nail puller, pole. The hammer pull's got some chips missing out of it, but the etch is very, very crisp. And this is on a 14-inch hickory handle. Swings nice and tight. 4-pound double bit. This is a wood slasher by Kelly Axe and Tool, and it says stamped 4-pound, 36-inch handle. Again, another great representation of the older American stuff. True Temper, number Tb2 Healing Hatchet. This has got a single bevel, and the back has been a little micro bevel has been put on the back side, but great little hewing hatchet for someone who's looking to hew. This is it's hung pretty tight. It does have a little gap in the front of the eye, but yeah, it's hung tight on a 14-inch handle. Would be great for someone who's wanting to do some bushcraft camping or construction in the woods and hewing up, straightening up some stuff. Another American Axe and Tool, fork and hoe, whatever, early model with the bevels. This one needs a bunch of work too. The eye's pretty messed up. It's the thing with these old ones is this thing, if it could tell stories, it would have a whole ton of them, but this has been in probably many hands, many generations, and some of those didn't really care to take care of it, but a great restoration piece and a early model that we don't see much. Here's a Plum camp hatchet on a hickory handle that's got a green stain to it, so it's a very lightly stained handle. This is a 3-line True Temper, World's Finest, Kelly Works. This is hung with a glow-in-the-dark wedge. Palm swell's done this way. kind of interesting. Boy's axe on a short handle, like we like it, kind of like a house axe. Speaking of house axes, we got this guy, which is a plum. Boy's axe. It's got a plum take-up screw in the top, and yeah, it's on a curvy short handle. True Temper, Kelly Works, just a hatchet. Great condition. The pole's got some dents in it, but yeah, it's pretty sharp, ready to use out of the box. Hickory handle. Here's a Tommy axe. So if you guys are familiar with these, a lot of times they are missing the claws because they've been broken off. This one does have one claw shorter than the other. It looks like it was chipped off, but great restoration piece. Still got a bunch of bit left, and it is on a link replacement handle. Looks like a pretty modern one. Here's a Craftsman Hatchet. The eye has been glued or epoxied in, and then the epoxy that is on the handle is kind of bumpy, as if it got hot and melted again. But great piece that wouldn't take much effort. You could put in a little bit of work into it and have a nice little scout hatchet for your kid or to throw in your toolbox. Here's a Mortising Ax. This one's crazy. Obviously something that we don't get in often. It is, you can see the forge line where the axe is folded over out of a single piece. And this would have been for cutting mortise and tenon joints, or specifically the mortise part of the mortise and tenon joint. So early or mid to late 1800s, this was handmade. Someone like swung a hammer, forged this. This isn't something that was drop forged, and it's on a straight handle. The handle's in pretty bad condition. I wouldn't like trust it by any means, and the eye is pretty small. However, would be a cool restoration piece to hang on to and use if you're into timber framing. Otherwise, hang it on the wall with your timber framing tool collection. Not something that we see often. This is a 20th century half hatchet in pretty good shape. It's super sharp, and it's on a handle that almost looks like maple. It's got some very interesting spalting and coloring to it. It almost looks like staining, I'm not sure, but you can see photographs of that on the website, on the auction site, on the preview. And then last and certainly not least is the Bridgeport Boy Scout Hatchet, and it comes on a with a leather sheath. It's got scales, they're in good shape. Little crack on that one, but this is a full steel tang handle, so yeah, check that out. Anyway, that's it. Come join me on Friday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm going to auction these off, and I'm going to play auctioneer again, and we're going to see how it goes. It's going to be faster paced than last time. We did it kind of slow. We had some technical difficulties, but if you want to bid, you can't be bidding on Instagram. If we live stream on Instagram, you're going to have to be on the auction app, which is live, and it has a video feature with my ugly mug on it. So yeah, come join us. Don't forget to register to bid, because that's the only way you can win these.